all his detractors are left with is an attack on the people who support the nomination. Now, as a senator who has participated in 14 Supreme Court hearings, I must say these comments strike me as really odd. To hear my friends on the other side tell it, it's only conservatives, outside groups, who are engaged in the nomination process. But we all know that isn't true. It's no secret that there are dozens of advocacy groups on the left who get involved in the nomination process. And there's absolutely nothing whatsoever wrong with that. We call it free speech. A group called the Coalition for Constitutional Values ran ads in support of Justice Sotomayor and Justice Kagan before their confirmation. The American Constitution Society touted Justice Kagan as a justice, quote, a justice for every American, end of quote. Where did their money come from? I don't know, and I suppose a lot of people think that I shouldn't say I don't care, but this is America, where people can spend their money where they want to spend it. And they can use their money for political speech or any advocacy that they want. And of course, as we see, advocacy groups on the left are engaged on this nomination as well. Liberal billionaires like Tom Steyer, George Soros, found their own dark money organizations like Next Gen Climate, a group that describes Judge Gorsuch as, quote, an extreme candidate, wrong for the Supreme Court, under any circumstances, end of quote. Everyone in this room knows that liberal and progressive groups have been pressuring the minority leader to find a reason, any reason, to filibuster the nominee. NARAL has run ads to pressure members to filibuster. We even had some groups called Progressive Change Campaign Committee target a senior and extremely well-respected Democrat over his quote-unquote squishy comments suggesting he might not filibuster. In short, they've threatened to primary any Democrat who supports the nomination. Now that's very dark. And of course, all last year, the groups on the left who coordinated an attack on me because I didn't hold a hearing on Garland, they followed me all over Iowa, ran commercials, put up billboards, even had a plane pulling a banner over a special event in Des Moines. Can you imagine that plane traveling around Iowa with that banner saying, Grassley, do your job, or mobile billboards, do your job, at every town meeting I had, or billboards on Fleur Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa, all over, touting 3 Republicans that were ashamed of Grassley. I found out they were Republicans maybe 20 years ago. TV ads, radio ads, paid staff bringing people to my town meetings, op-eds, clutter my town meetings with trackers, and even brought in somebody I found out from Washington State to make sure that everybody knew how bad I was. Now that's what I know about dark money, but I don't care about it because that's the American way we do things in this representative democracy. In fact, at my town meetings, I tell people one thing up front in about 2 minutes of opening the meeting, because I don't talk, or I let them set the agenda. But I say, this is what representative government is about. I'm one half of the process, you're the other half. And how can you be representative of the people if you don't have dialogue with them? And so these people come with dialogue with me, and it's part of our democratic system. Now, I've never heard any Democrat complain about all that money that was spent last year. We had a debate, I believe then and I believe now, that we took the right course for the Senate and for the court. And as I said, regardless of who won the election, we'd process this nominee And so we're processing the nominee. 9 o'clock on election night, everybody thought that Hillary Clinton was going to be president of the United States. But long time before that 9 o'clock, months before, I said, who's ever elected president, we're going to process that nominee. And that's what we're doing right now. That's democracy at work. By and large, I disagree with those advocacy groups on most issues, but I don't take issue with their engaging in the process and making their voices heard. And I don't try to intimidate or silence them. The bottom line is this. If you don't like the fact that issue advocacy groups are engaged in the process, the remedy is not to attack, intimidate, or try to silence them. The remedy is to support nominees who apply the law as it's written. The remedy is to support nominees who leave legislating to Congress. If you want politics out of the process, the solution is judges who apply the law as it's written and leave the policy making to the other branches.